Hello YouTube, this is Foamfish and I'm in a Deadpool onesie and we are going to play AquaNox 2. So it just crashed, so I gotta restart it. Oh, never mind. It's gonna go for me. It's gonna be by Joe Wood Production. This is gonna be interesting. Alright, off the back, I just got done doing the AquaNox 1 review and I spent 45 minutes on it. It was pretty good. Pretty good for $5. So let's see if the next one's gonna be pretty good. Let's see, let's start a new game.
There are many tales of the land without sky, and it seemed to me as if my grandmother knew them all. Grandmother Drake. She always told me that in such a place no star of hope could shine, nor sun of life, nor moon of love, unless the people themselves became lights in the darkness. I remember there was one story I could never hear enough. It was the heroic tale of a very wise man who lived at the time of the Great Migration. The surface had been stricken with cataclysmic natural disasters, forcing people to leave their shattered lands for a dark and painful refuge beneath the sea. The man, known as McGregor, was a visionary scientist and one of the last prophets on Earth. He probed the limits of scientific knowledge in a dozen fields, trying to discover the tantalizing secrets that remained. As I listened, I often imagined that I myself was a descendant of the great McGregor. The story began in the 22nd century with his discovery of a mysterious sea creature on a beach in northern Scotland. No larger than the palm of McGregor's hand, it looked like a horseshoe crab. The scientist took the creature to one of his laboratories and examined it more closely, and what he discovered was so unspeakably horrifying that fear and dread almost drove him insane. Then, when he and his staff tried to incinerate the creature, it refused to burn. When they tried to crush it, the hydraulic press shattered under the strain. I pestered my grandmother to tell me what was so horrifying about the creature, but she would only lower her voice and say, "It was made of flesh and gold, and of another metal that does not exist on Earth, and it could reproduce itself. Woe betide the man who finds such a creature. Woe betide him, because legend says it will be his ruin." Thoughts of such creatures still lurking in the seas, still reproducing themselves, gave me endless nightmares. In my daydreams, I pretended that I too would become a scientist and invent a weapon capable of destroying those creatures once and for all. My grandmother always said a single person could change the world with their mind, but whether that change was for better or worse was up to them. A single individual could sway the world as much as the masses, she said, if they were right. McGregor soon turned his mind to constructing incredible submarines the world had only dreamt of before, and in so doing laid the foundation of submarine technology for centuries to come. Without his knowledge, humanity could never have evolved enough to occupy the oceans. I always feared the ocean's black waters, but I also longed to defy their wretched confines. Like McGregor before me, I wanted to make discoveries and adventure with the likes of the brave mercenaries my grandmother spoke about. I was 9 years old when word of my mother's death reached us. She'd been managing Drake Enterprises, the family shipping company, which at that time included a respectable fleet of freighters. Then, pirates pillaged her ship off Cape Horn. Her body was never recovered. My father, Alonzo Drake, born Alonzo de Granada, was heartbroken. 3 years later, without so much as a goodbye, he left us to make his fortune in the oceans. I never understood why he abandoned his only son and his family business just like that. Grandmother always said he'd gone off with his brother, another adventurer. When I myself began to dream of adventures in Aqua's inky depths, I feared I had inherited my father's restless blood. My grandmother thought him irresponsible and said he'd probably found a grave on the sea floor by following the tracks of an angel. That was her poetic way of saying he'd lost his mind. After father disappeared, grandmother took over the company, but contracts were few and far between. Soon our financial backers withdrew and the fate of Drake Enterprises was sealed. When I grew up, I worked as a pilot on our last remaining freighter, the Harvester. My nightmares grew fainter over time, but my daydreams of life as an adventurer held fast. When we could no longer afford our family home in Neapolis, my grandmother and I ended up in the Pacific, amid the dangerous and chaotic seas of the northern tornado zone. There, I supplied stations and scattered habitats with chemosynthetic protein and other nourishment. My grandmother died quietly in her sleep, and soon after, I, William Drake, decided to follow the tracks of the angels too, as my father had before me. I decided to become the hero of my own story, a man who wanted to change a part of the world and learn the last of Aqua's secrets, like the scientist had before me. Yet I didn't reject my grandmother's teachings. It's the hidden things that form our reality. You must never be too close to what's going on around you. You can comprehend a whole seamount only from a distance. I knew I wanted to fight like the mercenaries in grandmother's tales. Perhaps I would confront my mother's killers in battle, or maybe just bring a little light to this miserable world without sky. And possibly find some hope for myself there as well. And then again, perhaps I was only a foolish little boy. My grandmother used to say that I was brave without cause and confident without reason. A fish without fins, she said, adrift in Aqua far too young, and headed for disaster.
Harvester. Freighter of the Drake Enterprise.
Hey! Hey, damn it! This is an SOS! I have a ship on my scanner. Will somebody answer me? This is the Bentho 7. Hello?
Bentho 7? Can you hear me? I have received your distress call. My name is William Drake.
This is Captain Hank Bellows. My goddamn bilge is filling up, and the stabilizers on my ship are out. I have negative buoyancy. I don't care whose butt I need to kiss. Send help, or me and my family aren't going to be around much longer.
Don't panic, Senor Bellows. I'll help you.
Call me Hank. Saves time. Where are you?
To your west, Hank. There are some massive ridges here, though I can't get over them.
I'll upload my nav data onto your onboard computer. It'll show the canyon we're in.
So I was the first one
trying
to
to
talk.
find a shortcut because the Pacific's swimming with pirates around here. Now we're stuck! Unless you can take us in tow, Drake!
My freighter won't fit through that canyon.
Don't you have a scout or something? Come on!
Right, I'll come get you in my boat, Hank. Just give me a minute to batten down in case any pirates show up.
Aw, shit, man, there's no time for that! My little daughter's already fainted. Grab your valuables if you're that nervous, compadre, but hurry up!
Hang on, Hank, I'm on my way. While I'm following your nav trail, hook your family into the breathing systems on their smart suits.
Alright, get going!
Nothing I can do there. So I can walk through the trail. Save my game real quick. Guy's double game already. So far, this one's going pretty well. Me and Locust Spazzy here, like music. graphics aren't terrible like the first one. The first one was pretty bad on the graphics part, but it was made in 2001, so I looked that up afterwards because I was curious myself to see what's going on. I don't know why I can't go up that much. It's like the first game and stuff. This one doesn't hold your attention as much as the first one. I have a feeling this guy's gonna be a pirate though. Fucking pirate. Follow the path on the blind. That's a little annoying. I do like the texture down here where it's off that
You fell for it, Liver! Now I'm gonna get ya!
Unlike the other one where you could just dock, this one you have to actually go to the nav point. Kind of cool, but yet kind of an inconvenience, more time consuming.
See, the freighter of Enterprises seems to be empty.
Now said, go for this freighter.
I can't believe the bend. It's too good to be true. Shut your mouth. Don't go to the freighter.
Hi, Skipper. Working on it.
Oh shit! I'm on the hang kick stuff. Hurry up and get in here. We've got a new home.
Honestly, they're dragging out the game a little bit much, but not too much in between. Hopefully it clears up a little bit. Hopefully this isn't... they could have made it a lot shorter. I understand what they're trying to do, drag it out, make it a little more melodramatic, but it gets a little tedious. I like how the first game was done, you know, always something else, always. This one you have to keep going through that course. Oh, I'm here. What am I supposed to do? Oh, yeah, the accident. Accomplish. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Harvester. Freighter of the Drake Enterprises.
What do you want, mate?
Some answers.
Wrong place, wrong time. Shove off.
Well, here comes the mighty captain himself, terror of the seas. So where are your classmates?
What? My what?
Sorry, you're so naive. I figured you must be out here on a field trip.
I was responding to an SOS.
Let me tell you something, landlubber. Anybody sends an SOS around here, and you can bet they're a pirate. Hell, Hank Bellows has been working that fake SOS sub-story for years. We just used him to help us board your ship.
What? What do you want?
All of your gold.
I don't have any gold. My name is William Drake. You're Bellows' men?
Nah, Bellows is a damn creep. We were shipwrecked. Now you're rescuing us.
Like I had a choice.
Them's the breaks in the rescue business, man. Lend someone a hand and you're as likely to lose your arm.
So, where were you headed in your freighter?
Well, my family's gone, so I was just out to see the world.
I see. Well, let me give you a little advice. That's going to be tough to do with your eyes closed.
Okay, so there might be more at the bridge.
What do you want?
Well, maybe an explanation. Why did you seize my freighter?
Why? No alternative.
That was pretty forward there.
Where are you headed?
Following the bowsprit, man. Which is following Amitab's nose.
And where will that take us?
To Atacama City, I hope. Where Lindy, Mary, and Juanita are waiting for me. 3 broads in every port, man. It's natural.
What's going to happen to me?
This is a tornado zone. So Amitab's gonna make nice with Iwan King's guys. That's how it is. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours. And listen, you better show the old man you got cojones. Balls, man. Amitab likes people to prove themselves.
What on earth do I have to prove?
That you got fire in your belly. Speaking of which, I heard some tourist punks are shooting up the sea off Lima too. They steal boats at home, then they come over here to shoot the place up. Good opportunity for you to impress the skipper, and for me to tag along.
Okay, so I see kind of the premise of the game where you end up rescuing people and the rescuers are gonna like train you and probably turn the pirates or something. I could continue playing this or I could just probably call it, and I think I'm gonna call it because it seems like they're dragging this out way too much with very little anything. I'm gonna go out and shoot some bad guys, come back, and 10 times more story. It's just like the first one. But is it good? I would say if you want to spend $5 on it and play it, go for it. For me, I don't want to, you know. Oh, Spazzy, what do you think?
I agree.
Oh. My opinion is pay $5, any more, not worth it. It's good for a few minutes of entertainment. You can keep yourself going for a while, have the kids on it, something like that, but as it stands, it's very repetitive and can get kind of obnoxious. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.